In this episode, we're going to look at the electrical system, some fun sensors, some connectors, and also some progress on the electrical system. So here we have the mating connector for the rear firewall. So this is basically the one that will handle the fuel pumps and some of the rear sensors for the fuel tank, the rear, some other rear sensors that I'm going to show you later on. But I'm going to show you how you go about to pin one of these. So this uses these pins and this is the one that's actually going to go in the middle one here, so it's pretty easy to show. So it's quite thick diameter on this one, and it needs to be that thick to handle the current from the fuel pumps, and to make sure that it doesn't get damaged in a way. If you use a smaller connector, for example this Autosport connector, you usually go with several pins to share the current over several pins. So, but on these are that's called Mil Spec connectors when you usually buy them, and that just means that it has a military standard specification which describes what the connector looks like, what the keying of these pins on slots are, and basically what it looks like. So if I look here, I can see that I have slightly stripped it a bit too little, so I have to strip away a bit more here. There we go. That looks much better. You can see a little here, and you can see it also in the hole here. And I have set up this DNC connector, DNC plier already. It's already set to 16 gauge. Then take the crimper tool here, check that it's set up correctly, and you insert it into here and you crimp it. You inspect, and it should have 8 indents because it has 8 teeth. And you do a small tug check and it feels good. And the pin I'm going to use is the small T, and I have to check with my spreadsheet over my harness, and it's the small T. And sometimes you need to have some kind of lubrication on the pins, but hopefully it will work all right. And for some connectors you can just go at it and push it in, but on this you actually need one of these insertion tools. So the blue side here is the insert. The blue side here is the insert side. You use the white side to extract the pin if you need to depin it. So, and it's much easier to work with these larger tools. The smaller ones are a bit of a pain in the ass actually. So and you push it in, and there you can see, there it is, and then you pull it out and do a tug check on the, and there it is, teeny tiny one, and it's for the fuel pump that for the catch tank. So I have in the tank I have 3 fuel pumps. I have one to so this is the one that feeds the catch tank. There's an inside the fuel tank, and then I have 2 other main fuel pumps. So I've been able to have enough fuel, and that's basically it. I'm going to do a service loop on this one as well, but at the moment I have placed my service tool somewhere. You can use a small screwdriver or something else as well. So I'm going to do that now. And there we have a service loop. A bit of extra wire, and also as a strain relief if there's a tug on the, so it has a bit more springy sense here. But it looks good, and we'll do a bunch of these. I'm not going to show you that because that's pretty boring, but yeah. And then afterwards I'm gonna install this ring here, and that is for the boot to grip when I add that one. So it will be actually quite good. So here we have some kind of electrical mess here, but it actually is quite tidy if you compare it to what it could look like. And this is the harness for the Motec dash, and it's finished, and it looks quite good. Looks really good with the clear heat shrink on the labels here. And I actually ran out of clear heat shrink when I did all this labeling, so some are labeled and some are not. So, and that's something that's gonna annoy me in the future, but at the moment I don't really care. I just want to get it done, pretty much. So, but it looks quite good actually. And here we have the harness for the transmission. So here's the connector for the transmission. Pretty much just power, CAN bus, and I think it's a wake up signal or something like that. And here we have the connector for the transmission control unit, pedal shift, some inputs, outputs, power, and OBD2 connector in order to flash and flash the software, and also troubleshoot fault codes and that kind of stuff. The similar connector that's on ordinary cars. And it's finished as well. And here we have the engine harness, and I actually had this to the garage this weekend, and checked the length of the wiring and everything, and it looks quite good. So this week I'm gonna install the connectors on everything, and then it's ready to be installed, this one as well. So that's awesome. And here we have the main harness, which I also had to the garage this weekend, and test fitted it and where it's gonna go and everything. And I have to do some adjustments because I want to move, for example, this power on connector. It's a bit too short, so I'm gonna just lengthen it. Not that very difficult. Probably not just gonna add a longer wire here. I'm gonna cut it off here and redo it. and make it a bit longer. It will look better. But other than that, what's left on this one is adding the last connectors on these wires here. But I haven't decided on what I'm going to use them for yet. So it's additional inputs and outputs. And since I haven't decided what to use them for yet, I am going to wait. Use the connectors for the purposes I know what I'm going to use them for. And when I know what I'm going to use this for, then I'm going to wire them up with the connectors and that kind of stuff. But other than that, I'm going to do a new connector. I'm going to do a new connector boot on this for this PMU connector for the IZZE Master PMU 16. And I've actually done a prototype in PETG filament on the 3D printer, and it was a bit small, so this is quite a bit bulky, so I have to make it a bit bigger. And also I'm gonna do the final boot in TPU filament, which is a bit more flexible. So that's going to be good. But other than that, the boots from Raychem are installed. And it's starting to look quite good actually. So progress is made. Here we have the latest addition to the sensors on the car. And this is a 16 channel infrared temperature sensor that is used to measure, in my case anyway, measure the temperature of the tires. So one sensor for each tire, so it measures the tire's width in 16 zones, and then you can read the temperature in each zone to see what the load is and if it's overheating or too cold to get grip and that kind of things. So it's gonna be a good addition. And IZZE Racing is a good company, a small company, but it makes really good products. So really good quality. This is I think it's the first generation of these sensors. So they have a new sensor that looks a bit different, but I have no doubt that this will be awesome for my car.